Hello, this is Palagi. Thank you for tuning into my channel, and today we're going to talk about some knife scales that are exclusive to a really cool little store out of Ohio known as the Knife Connection. So far, these guys offer these G10 scales for Ontario, Esee, and Becker models. Now, I wanted to show you at least one example of each company, and although I'm impressed with all of them, I'm most moved by their Becker scales. Anyone that has owned a Becker would likely tell you that their Grivery scales that come stock are well contoured, but somewhat slick and overall just pretty bland. I mean, you can remedy it by, using a soldering iron or a Ranger band or really any number of ways, but a nice set of scales really completes a Becker. That said, you can purchase aftermarket micarta scales made by K-Bar, and they come in a couple flavors, this here being one of them. After using all of them, I have to say I prefer these G10 scales simply because everything is just done better than both the previous options. They're more comfortable to me, provide excellent grip, and are the best looking as far as I'm concerned. I'll start by saying that I've been using them for a few years now, and they're among my all-time favorite handle options out there. Now, comfort's going to be the main attribute that I'm going to concern myself with, and every set I've received from these guys just feels terrific in hand and, moreover, lend themselves readily to long-term tasks. Traction on these things were well thought out. They somehow managed to incorporate the perfect texture that provides a nice positive grip, but it also adds to the overall aesthetics of the handle scale. It's really nice to see a good traction plan on an incredibly durable media, and without any radical changes in the depth of the handle like you see on some other scales. I really like this design because it has ultimate utility but with a refined look and feel to it. The fit and finish is another area in which they did a first-rate job. So good in fact that it looks and feels as if they were finished directly on the knife. The gradient is also nice and subtle due to the chamfering, which makes for a very comfortable grip. Even more so than the Becker's aftermarket micarta scales, you can probably see that they have a more streamlined appearance than the K-Bar scales too. They certainly have better traction with a more refined look. Notice how the hardware is a big part of the look with the Becker scales? Dale did a great job cleaning them up by using smaller, unobtrusive hardware with only 2 small Allen heads as opposed to Becker's larger hardware with the 3 screws and nuts. It makes a big difference in the overall flow of things and comes across as a classier yet very rugged option. As we've already established, they're made out of G10, which is one of my favorite handle materials. I like micarta a lot too, but I particularly like the way G10 doesn't absorb things like stains and oils and liquids the way micarta does. Installation is very easy, and they give a very clear and concise instruction adhered to the plastic that they come in. As far as different colors, they did an awesome job giving a wide variety of different colors and options. And I appreciate this because as a guy in business, these are the things that aren't necessarily cost effective, but are more for the customer satisfaction. At any rate, they offer solid colors like black, olive drab, orange with different colored liners. Then they have all kinds of combinations. Really, each one of them is something that I can appreciate if I'm being honest. The scales that I'm rocking here on the Becker are brown and black. The other ones here is called Midnight Tiger in a 2x2, and they have all different kinds of other ones like I was saying, but by the way, you'll see, it'll say 1x1, 2x2, or 3x3. Essentially, that's just how tight the pattern is. For instance, the 3x3s would be kind of a broad pattern, and the 1x1 would be, a real nice, tight pattern. The price is going to depend on the model, but they range anywhere from about $35 to $60. There's 2 ways of looking at this. Some people are reluctant to invest, due to them being half or maybe even 3/4 the cost of the knife that they're putting them on. But being a guy that makes a lot of things like this, I think their asking price is actually very reasonable. If you have a knife that you really like, $50 to $60 is a very minimal investment to turn an ordinary knife into an extraordinary knife that's going to last the rest of your life. Now, I've been ordering things from these guys for a few years now, and while dealing with them, I've noticed that the customer service and satisfaction is a top priority to them. They even go as far as backing it up with a 30-day return policy, which is very good, especially in this business. On top of that, their prices are very competitive and offer free shipping on orders over $99. Now, I've ordered both online and over the phone, and they just go above and beyond to make sure that you're getting exactly what you're looking for and are happy with the transaction. Now, these scales are terrific, and I'd recommend them to anyone regardless of where they came from, but when I come across places like the Knife Connection, I'm especially happy to return as a customer and furthermore recommend them as a supplier for quality knives and other accessories, because they are so great to the customers. So if you're looking for a way to upgrade or customize a blade, these G10 scales from the Knife Connection are a great option. You can tell that a lot of thought went into their design, as they're just comfortable, provide good traction, they look great, and they even have a little bow drill divot milled out in some of their options. But in short, it's just a great product at a reasonable price, and I recommend them to anybody looking for this sort of thing. At any rate, there you go. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave your mark down below. If you liked the video, please feel free to like, share, favorite, and subscribe, and don't forget to go over to the Knife Connection and check their site out. Thanks again, guys. Until next time, this is Palagi, signing off.